Hello everybody, this is TipTopMTG here today with another Magic the Gathering news video. In today's video, we have a ton of news about Ikoria, and I'm going to talk about Ikoria spoilers and when those start, and a lot of misinformation that's going around, and some issues, just a bunch of stuff with Ikoria. So, starting off, Mark Rosewater posted a blog post, or like a post on Daily MTG, and it said some spoiler date, and it was actually the incorrect spoiler start date. So, spoilers will officially start April 2nd, and if you want to stay up to date, you can expect to find them on this channel. But, he said because people are being cooped up in their houses, obviously because of the, virus, he wanted to give us some hints as to what's coming without actually giving us any cards. So there's a bunch of new basically saying, oh yeah, there'll be Magic 7th egg. So there's gonna be some sort of egg card in here, and so we can really get some very interesting ideas as to what's gonna be in this set. Now, what do we know about Ikoria now? It's a land based around monsters. Vivian Reed is going to be in it. There's going to be Mutate as a mechanic, and there is going to be 2 wild mechanics. So why don't we look at what they have to say? So, Magic 7th egg. So, there's stuff like Dragon Egg that when you kill it, it forms something, and it makes sense if we're going to a land of monsters that there's going to be like a monster egg. So I expect monster egg or something. A card with the text 4 or more times this game. That could be a alternate win con. Those often say if you've gone down below 10 life or more times this game, you win the game. Or it could be, I don't know. This could really be anything, but we can start to see kind of some clues as to what the set is going to be about. A card with the text total power 10 or less, so high power creatures is probably going to be a big part of this, or maybe even lots of low power creatures. I don't know. It'll be interesting because it says total power, so it's probably choosing multiple creatures and then being if their total power is 10 or less, they all get this, and if it's more than 10, they get this, maybe. Magic's largest power / toughness granting aura. Now, give me a second. That's probably insane because I know that they say aura, but I know there's equipment with high amounts. Now, this is obviously just a plus blank, so it's not like a plus X. Those ones don't count in this, so it'll be interesting to see what is this, because it's clearly showing here that there is going to be a theme around high toughness, high power creatures. And then it says, a card with the text X is the number of times this creature has mutated. So mutate is going to be a repeatable ability, but that's what we can kind of figure out there. And so we're learning more about the mutate mechanic. There's going to be some card that cares about the number of times this creature has mutated. It says Magic's 3rd and 4th card with 0 is even reminder text. So there's going to be something in here that says something about if the number of times something has been mutated is even, it has +1/+1 in vigilance, and if it doesn't, it has -1, -0, and indestructible. I don't know. That's just a completely made up card. I just thought, that's a good example of what that could be. And then, then we have 3 cards with the text different names. I mean, that could really be anything. If you control 3 ogres with different names, if the card has a different name, there's all sorts of ways this can be done. But this next one is one of the more interesting ones. 12 different types of counters. Now, we know there's probably going to be +1/+1 counters, so boom, that's 11. We know that there are keyword counters, which apparently there are enough keyword counters where there needs to be a punch-out card, so I would guess 10 of those. And then we actually get to see some more interesting things with counters here. So a card that says choose a kind of counter at random. So do you choose every single kind of counter? Is it choose a kind of counter at random from the list below? It'll be interesting to see how that goes. At random, that's kind of weird for a standard product. They normally don't do that, but with MTG Arena, that's pretty easy to do. A card with the text remove 8 Foreshadow counters. Okay, so this is probably our next mechanic, and this is probably what I titled the video. New mechanic revealed, Foreshadow counters or something. And here's what I think this is. I think that there'll be cards, and it'll be pay 2 mana or something. Put a Foreshadow counter on it. Whenever a Foreshadow counter goes on it does something. And then it'll have the ability to remove Foreshadow counters to do something bigger. So maybe when you put a Foreshadow counter on it, you deal 1 damage to any target. But then when you remove 8 Foreshadow counters from something, you're dealing 10 damage to every target. So like you're kind of foreshadowing what's about to happen. It could also just be that you're throwing counters on something and then you're oh yeah, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and then once you finally get enough counters on it, it goes away. Again, one of the problems with like auras, which they talked about, counters, all of this is that you're putting lots of cards into one easily killable creature. So they're gonna have to do something about that. They say a cycle that players have been asking us to make for over 10 years. I can't think of what that would be unless it's some sort of joke. I mean, they could be saying, are they saying like a whole new cycle, or is it saying like completing a cycle? I'm not sure, but there's going to be some sort of cycle that has been heavily requested. If you have any idea what that is, let me know in the comments down below. Then we have the following creature types: a dinosaur turtle, a shark beast, a demon kraken, an elemental otter. I don't remember otter ever being a creature type. A brushwag, don't remember that being a creature type, a Hellion horror, and a nightmare squirrel, which again, that's I think the first squirrel in a standard legal set, as they mention here, and they say this can hope that this tides us over. So there's a lot of information we can get from this. Counters look like they're gonna be a really big deal, and I noticed a lot of sets they don't like to do a lot of different type of counters because it's gonna be hard to differentiate the types. But something like MTG Arena, that's not a problem, but something like Paper Magic, that can be a problem now. If they're doing keyword counters, flying, so on and so forth. So we know there's going to be +1/+1 counter and Foreshadow counter. So that leaves us 10 counter types. We probably have a loyalty counters in there. So that leaves us with 9, and I don't see the token, the keyword counters having 9. So it's probably going to be 8. And there's probably going to be some other type of counter in there. So we're probably going to have 8. And if I were to guess, it would be like flying, trample, reach, haste, death touch. There's so many different evergreen mechanics that you could do. Menace, all those. So I expect those to be in there. And that's about it that I can think of. I mean, it's going to be kind of crazy. It's going to be very like mutant based and creature based, and I really enjoy those kind of sets. So that's really fun. Overall, I'm really excited for Ikoria. Again, if you want to stay up to date with all the spoilers, I will be doing videos covering those every single day of spoiler season starting April 2nd. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.